We couldn't make her
Who
come
writes?
with us.
This woman's a pain in the... Fucking hell. Get in there.
Well, listen, this is just a story I wanted to read, and it's quite a prominent story at the moment in the news, and I just wanted to see discuss it with you a little bit, George.
Righto.
It is claimed that a former PE teacher partied with pupils at a nightclub before going back with them to a premier hotel and having sex with a pupil who was 18, right? A senior teacher...
Lucky him.
Well, that's what I was thinking. You should see her, bruv. You'd understand, right?
Is that her?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, she's phenomenal. I want to go right back to school and have her as my teacher. She could teach me all kinds of things.
A senior teacher had concerns about her colleague's behaviour on the night she's accused of having sex with a pupil after.
But she looks like she's like 23.
Well,
she's a baby.
I think she was at the. Well, you say that she was. Heather Prentice was. Well, I shouldn't mention names. This woman was giving evidence at a general teacher council for Scott.
Heather Prentice.
It is claimed that a former PE teacher parted with pupils before going back with them to Premier Hotel. The then 23-year-old, she was 23 at the time, allegedly danced inappropriately with pupils before having sex with the pupil who was 18 at the time.
Yeah, but she would have known him. This must be getting late. My voice is crazy. She obviously knew him, right, well enough.
Well,
because she was the teacher, so she probably got a sense of how he was with the other kids. She could tell like what he was like in terms of his, his work and how he was with her. So she obviously developed.
She was 23 at the time, right?
Some genuine attraction for this person.
Yeah. I could look. So the deputy head teacher who's giving information in court, by the way, has said, I had concerns about this woman from the start of the dance regarding her outfit. Later in the evening, I saw her up dancing with a glass of wine. She was up with a group of 6
Who's writing this stuff? I saw her up.
They can't write
at the start of the glass and up at the dance, and she picked up the wine.
She also claims she saw pupil A, I don't think that's the real name, and her taking shots at the bar, right? When it was time to leave the prom in June 2017.
That must have been great for that kid. Could you imagine being 18 and your beautiful 23-year-old teacher's like doing shots with you and you're thinking, oh my God, this is actually going to happen. This is the best prom ever. I came here with Sydney, right? But I was well into the teacher instead. I much preferred Sydney. And my teacher's like fucking giving me the eyes, mate. I think it's going to happen, boys. I think it's going to happen. And all your mates are going, nah, you ain't going to pull it off with the fucking miss. Nah. I mean, go on then. I mean...
Yeah. He's a legend, isn't he? Let's be honest. He's a legend in his... Anyway, look, when it was time to leave the prom
time of his life. Best night of like any 18-year-old's life.
So the woman, the head teacher, asked the one accused how she was getting home. And the deputy head recounted. She said she was going to get a black...
black man.
I think they've written here. She's... I fucking hell, bro. She said she was going to get a black hack. That's what it says. I assume that means a black cab. I told her I would arrange something for her, right?
A black pack.
Okay.
A backpack.
I told her that there was a lift organised and another teacher agreed to take her home.
The woman writing this is annoying, isn't she? I mean, this is in the newspaper, but the way she's like, I'm the nice one, I'm the good teacher, don't worry. I said to her, I'm going to get you a cab. I said, you're drinking too much near that. It's really... Who cares? No. A 23-year-old woman went out with an 18-year-old guy. So what? Right. You're giving them a title of student teacher, but you know what they actually are?
Two adults.
A human and another human.
Yeah.
Yeah. A male and a female. They're not really adult. I mean,
they're
one's an adult, one's a teenager, but whatever.
They're not underage.
They're adult enough to, do that thing, what makes babies, right? But... that's all it is. 20 gives a crap. 20. This isn't news.
This is big news, George. This is all over the news.
The hell are these people writing about? George. They've bloody got aeroponic farms that can feed every single human being on Earth. No one writes about it, right? Technology has been invented as far back as pretty much like the 70s, designed by NASA to feed people in space, and they worked out that aeroponic farms. right?
No, after that you said, what did you call the space people?
NASA.
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 What language is that, George?
NASA.
There you go.
Only because it's American and he's Liverpudlian. NASA. But they developed that kind of technology and we could feed every single person on Earth and you could grow food in the desert.
Well, how can we make money,
with
George?
that technology?
We need to make money.
Right?
We need to distract the people.
But it's like, no.
Distract the people.
No, let's not tell anyone about the fact that we have hydroponic and aeroponic farms that can feed every single person on the earth for free. Let's just talk about the fact that some 23-year-old teacher went out with her 18-year-old. Isn't that terrible? Oh my God. I told her that I was going to get her a black cap, right? That she could have used to get home in. Oh my God. Who gives a fuck? Who writes this shit?
This is the headline, mate. This is like the most viewed story on the page right now, right? And instead of building delicatessen aerodynamic farms to feed the people, right? we're reading
They are aerodynamic.
I bet they are. Listen.
They're out up in space.
Listen, when it was time for her, the woman accused, now 27.
They should create aero. Do you know the Aero chocolate bar?
Oh, yeah.
They should create aerodynamic. Like it should be a special edition of Aero, and it's like a dynamic looking bar.
Oh, and it's like the shape of it's like streamlined.
Yeah, aerodynamic.
Maybe like in the shape of like a Concorde.
Yeah, but why not?
Maybe it has wings. Maybe like if you're stood over there,
it doesn't have any braking parts.
I can sort of throw it and it would kind of glide into your mouth.
A dynamic aero.
I love it. I love it.
It is kind of aerodynamic
because they're light and fairy.
Exactly.
Fairy? You know what I mean? Airy. Listen.
Light and fairy, like homosexuals. I'm a light and fairy. Hi there, big boy. I like your hair. You look good.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, goodness gracious me.
When it was time for the woman accused, now 27, and working as a yoga teacher. Oh, yeah, she is.
No, by the way, disclaimer, right? I don't even want to talk about it.
Right.
I was going to say, not attending to offend any homosexuals.
Right.
Because
Sorry.
But I think, do I have to say it? Doesn't it sort of go without saying?
To be honest.
Like, no offence.
Even though he loves everybody.
Yeah,
but you can't make jokes about anybody, and if you do, you've got to make sure that everybody knows that if you're making a joke, it isn't serious, it's just a joke.
It's a joke. But it's not really a joke either, it's just me just being just whatever, I just don't know, but whatever, it's not... Anyway, whatever. Carry on.
Basically, right, the teacher has claimed, not the one accused, the other one, who's the good one, she's claimed, I was told...
Fairy godmother.
Exactly. She had left with 6th year pupils, right? So instead of getting a taxi, just to recap, guys.
But imagine that if she left with 6 pupils. Now that would have been good. Imagine that. 6 male pupils. Now that would have been a good story. 6 male pupils went home with their 23-year-old teacher and boy did they get a lesson.
For this. So I caught up with her. And
so much of a lesson, he just made up a word. Foiders.
It's a Portuguese word.
Is it? What does that mean?
Fuck.
Oh, right. Exactly that.
She was very reluctant to take advice and come with us, right? We couldn't make her come with us.
This woman's a pain in the... Fucking hell. Get in there, right?
Can you imagine you're trying to get off with this young lad that you think sexy.
Basically, it's cock block, isn't it?
And this other woman who's older.
No, I'm going to get you a cab. This is that woman, right? That men just cannot stand, because this is when you go out and you're fucking
and the friend.
You're a mate, you're a guy, you've worked non-stop for like weeks, months, maybe even a fucking year or plus, right? Yeah. You've had all kinds of difficult things that you had to deal with in your life. You're really stressed out, and you go out and you meet some girl, and for just one single moment, there's like a moment of serenity, of peace, of hope, of optimism, and you're like, this is it. The landscape that is just nothing but like difficult terrain. It's like buildings that are all shambolic and falling apart. All of a sudden, it's like the Red Sea is parting, and there is light, there is beauty, there is eternity in the eyes of another person, a woman, this beautiful angel, and you're like, this is it. She reaches out her hand, you reach out your hand, your fingers touch, your souls intertwine. You start to think, this is it. This is the feeling I've been searching for. This is everything I've ever needed. And then this fucking woman shows up and goes, no, and she grabs grabs her friend and she pulls her. I'm gonna get you a black cab. I'm gonna get you a black cab. Don't worry, you're gonna go home. You're gonna be all right. And you're there going, wait, that's Juliet, and I'm Romeo, and I'm a good guy. Where the fuck are you taking her? Oi, this was it. This is everything we were searching for. Both of us. We were about to find happiness. No. No. She's going now. But why'd you do it, ladies?
Why'd you do
it? The
Don't
23-year-old with an
Let
18-year-old,
her do
it's
her
okay.
thing.
If she wanted to go home with all 6 of the pupils, she was allowed to.
Listen,
that was
right?
her prerogative. Like that song.
We couldn't make her
That's
go
my
home with
prerogative.
us. Love that song. So we had to let her go. They had to let her go, George. They had to let her go.
Let this one go.
So this woman continues to say she was called by a colleague to a hotel across the river.
By the way, carry on. But when people go,
listen,
everything I just said about like the women who do that, the reason women do that,
tell them
the cock block,
tell them,
is because women don't have the physical strength of men. Have you noticed? Sorry, I didn't make things.
You can't
That's
say
just how
that,
it is.
George.
They just, on average, some of them have, but most of them have not got the physical strength of men. And as a result, when a guy sees his male friend, like if I see Luke chatting to a girl, right, and the girl is like, comes up to about here on him, right, and she's looking up
bloody
at him,
tall then.
I'm looking at him and I'm going, yeah, well, he can take care of himself, right? He's stronger than her. It's unconscious, but I'm looking at a man with a woman going, he can take care of himself. But if a female looks at, maybe you can't.
Blessed.
But if a female looks at her female friend with a guy like Luke, she's looking at that thinking, he's a threat to her. And I don't know who he is, and I don't know. So one of the reasons they dash in and pull the friend away is actually a survival instinct to protect, their friend, get her away just in case. And the other thing is because they're women, they know that there will always be another man chasing after, their sexy friend, because there always is. So they're like, no, there's always another. It doesn't matter. Come on, go. But ultimately, it's a survival thing, and there's a reason why we don't do it. Because we're men and we go, no, I would never do that. Like if my friend was having a great time with a girl, right, and I knew that, we'd gone for a night out, we wanted to have fun, I would not walk up to him and be like, come on then, it's time to go, I've got you a cab. And you'd be like, I'm talking to this girl.
What are you doing,
we're having a good time. I'm dancing with her, right?
Having a wonderful
Our lips
evening.
were this close. They were a half centimetre apart. And you telling me, well, I'm getting you a cab. Don't worry. No. I've called your mum. Okay, I've told her that you're coming. I've told her that you had wandering too many.
Cab
okay,
is coming.
She's going to take care. She's made you a cup of tea. Okay, and she's waiting for you. And she's going to tell you off when you get back. For being a little bit too risque with the joke that you made earlier.
She'll make you a cup of tea, and you'll sober up.
Yeah.
And you'll go to bed alone, and you'll be very, very happy and single and lovely.
You'll have a black coffee.
And we'll have a nice hot water bottle.
You won't sleep a wink.
And it'll be wonderful. That's not what you should do.
I like that. Hot water bottle.
Oh, I do like hot water bottle. Anyway, let me finish this story because I just want you look. There's a picture of this.
I'd like her if she maybe left me a hot water bottle.
Well,
I think I'd get in the black cab.
Listen,
if there's a hot water bottle at home in bed, I'm going. Forget
we do love a hot water bottle. You should. All right, listen. That's another subject. Pupils had said that they'd never seen her in a room drinking alcohol, and they asked her to send a ping to her location, but she didn't reply. When replying to the presenting officer's cross-examination, they're in court, by the way, George. This is a court case.
Fucking hell.
She asked in relation to the teacher's outfit. I do remember it was quite loose, short, low cut.
Oh my God.
I do remember that she looked like she was going on a night out.
She was a bit drunk. Fucking hell.
When asked about the nature of the dancing, she said it was all male pupils she was dancing with. I didn't see any contact.
Of course it was male
between
people.
Her.
What's she going to dance if she's a straight woman looking for love, right, which she is? I mean, let's be honest here. Let's try and think about some, perfect couple. All right, can't think of them. Let's think about a fictional perfect couple. Let's say Jack and Rose in Titanic. They work pretty well. Now, what if it just so happened that Rose happened to be Jack's teacher, right? Would that mean they shouldn't have been together? Because even if they met on that day and Rose was only, Is Rose older than Jack? I don't know.
mean,
Don't know their ages. But let's assume that she is.
assume she is.
Probably she isn't, but let's assume that she is.
Let's go
Should they
with that.
not be together? Two people who are like soulmates. Oh, sorry, you're soulmates, right? We all believe in that. We like to believe in soulmates, but unfortunately, because you're 21 and he's 19, and you're technically under this guise of teacher. See, that's a name. That's something we've attributed to you, right? That means that you're not allowed to go out with him because we've given you a title, right? It's written on a piece of white paper that we typed it in on Microsoft Word. So because we put it into Microsoft Word with it was an Arial font, teacher, student. Therefore, like, human things are not allowed to happen anymore. See, biology is not allowed. Okay, we don't
unless
allow
it's
it.
in class.
Attraction, unfortunately, it's not allowed. All right, we can't do that anymore. And making children, that's not allowed. So here's one other thing, right? So if you have had sex with him, which you have, and you've gotten pregnant, which actually we've just discovered that you have, your child, okay, which is now actually 3 years old, you're not allowed to love it. You're not allowed to love your child, and he's not allowed to love it either, because unfortunately you were a teacher and he was a student.
Teacher-student dynamic.
And you were a whole 2 years older than him. So you can't love your child, and we're just going to just discard the 3-year-old baby, all right? Because we're moral people, okay? So we're just going to leave that baby in the dustbin, right? And don't worry about it crying. It's all right. Don't worry. We'll just ignore it because we're very moral, and we're just going to get rid of this problem. And here's your little lapel that says teacher on it. You can have that back, okay? And we'll just pretend that this never happened. And by the way, whilst your baby's crying, we're just going to put these handcuffs on you and send you away to prison.
This is what they're trying to do here, George. They're literally trying to put right.
Don't you just love the
you'll
world?
love this bit. On her level of inebriation, she said
It means drunk. She drank a bit.
she was not that drunk.
Oh no!
That she couldn't walk.
Oh no, it is still on. Oh, I thought the mic was off.
She was not that drunk that she was out of control. I told her she needed to be more careful here, and the way she was seeing the situation was not the way pupils were seeing it. I think they were all seeing it the way they should be seeing it.
You know, men are never seeing it the way she's seen it, because men are staring at a sexy lady and you're a lady looking at the men. So, no, they weren't seeing it how you were seeing it.
I wanted her to recognise that the pupils were getting a bit titillated by it. I think she recognised.
I think she was fucking aware.
Right.
What she was going is, listen, love, I'm fucking fit and you wish you had some of this. So she was aware of it.
With hindsight, I wasn't sure it was her flatmate on the phone trying to call her to come and get her to pick her up.
Was more than blind, lost without a clue.
I haven't got anything to back that up other than that she was blowing kisses and saying love, love to the pupil A from the 6th year.
Oh, she sounds like a fucking diamond of a teacher.
The pupil recounted, doesn't she just? The pupil recounted, I was sitting at my table and I remember a chat between teachers that she needed to calm down. She then spoke about what she saw when she was staying at the Premier Inn after that night. I went back into the room as everyone was leaving to get a drink. Pupil A had his arms around the base of her back, and she said to me, can we just pretend for a minute that I'm not your teacher? I left because it was quite weird.
She said to me.
Pupil A had his arms around the base of her back.
And she said
to me, can we, yeah. I left because I thought it was weird. I went down the stairs for some food. Instead, he said, where is she? Where is she? I think he meant the teacher. When being cross-examined by the officer, she said they were sitting on the edge of the double bed. She was competent enough to say...
What double bed? What, they have a double bed at the prom?
In the Holiday Inn. She was competent enough to say, can we just pretend for a minute that... like, I'm not your teacher, right? The people also recalled how pupil A was quite startled. Police were alerted to the incident and investigated at the time, but found no criminality had taken place. The hearing continues.
Hearing a
basically,
load of bullshit is
right?
what it is.
What kind of world are we
Hearing
living
a
in,
bunch
right?
of bollocks.
Basically,
Look, you could try and get us in trouble for saying this, but just for a second, I don't even know why I have to say it, right?
on.
Let's imagine this, okay?
I know what you're gonna do.
You got a cat,
Yeah,
that's a
I
female,
actually don't know.
and you got a cat here, that's a male,
Yeah.
right? Now this cat is about a year and a half older than this cat, and they ain't got any words. They just sniff around and meow, 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 and they sniff around. And before you know, oh look, aren't they so cute together? Oh my god, they're so cute. I want to stroke them, but I don't want to get involved because they're having their fun. Oh my god, they're having their thing. Oh my god. Right now, let's take the exact same situation and just go. I'm just gonna write teacher on this cat, and we're gonna put on that cat, and I'm gonna write student on this cat, and then they're gonna walk around. They're gonna go.
That'd be quite cute.
And then you're gonna go. No, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to be together. And the cats are gonna be like. They're not going to understand. Do you know why they're not going to understand? Because their entire evolution, right, for hundreds of thousands of years have told them, has put things within their DNA that they notice in the other. They sniff around and they discover all kinds of things about attraction and is this person good? Is this a good partner? Are they a good mate? And every single thing in their DNA says, yes, good mate, good mate, good mate, good mate. And if you write teacher on a piece of paper, it goes, I don't know what the fuck that means, right? That doesn't mean anything. Of course it doesn't. It's the same now. Like a school teacher is new. It's a modern construct. It's only existed for a few hundred years, right? It's literally like ridiculous to put that on top of everything that is human, right? When you look at a woman, when you fall in love, when you get that sense of something incredibly special and divine, something that can carry your genetics on, potentially into eternity, okay? That's what happens when you look into a woman's eyes, you know? When a man and woman look at each other in the eyes, what they are seeing is the potential of eternity, infinity. That's all there. That's why you get so lost in that gaze. How in God's name are you supposed to look away from that when you're looking into infinity itself? How the hell do you see teacher? Now, if there was an actual like issue here, if the child was underage, if it was like a problem of like pedophilia, if he was 11 or 13 of course. And she was 23, that would be dreadful. That would be a real problem. But if he's fucking 19 and she's 23, or he's 18 and she's 23, right? Come on, Jesus Christ. Like, can we just drop the titles from, I mean, she's his dream. Like, she's his dream. They haven't broken any rules.
She's my dream,
like,
George.
It's completely legal in this country, in America. The age is fine, and the biology says what it. I mean, look, if it was all wrong, pregnancy wouldn't be possible. Biology wouldn't allow it, right? But there's a reason why biology wants it to happen, because life wants to live. And when you put two young people together, fucking crazy things happen. That's what love is. Look at Romeo and Juliet, right? That's the whole point of the story.
Tristan and Isolde.
That's the moral. Well, sure, that too, but Montagues and Capulets. If you don't know it, where have you been on this time? Romeo and Juliet. Romeo is a part of a family, right? And they don't like this family that Juliet's from. So this family goes, don't you be with him, okay? Because that's wrong. And then what happens is the two people fall in love anyway, Romeo and Juliet, but their families hate each other. So it creates all of this problem and all this friction, and they get torn apart, okay? Torn apart. And what does it result in? Misery, suffering, the degradation of all of Verona. And out comes forget his name, comes out at the end, and he says, let me think. A glooming peace this morning with it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show its head. Go forth and speak of these sad things. Some will be pardoned and some punished. For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo. Point being, a glooming peace, wasn't very good for us, a glooming peace means the sun will not show its head. The sun is sad. The universe is sad. Some will be pardoned, some punished. Meaning it's you people. You've done it. It's your fault. look at what you've done. You've made it that the sun is not shining in the heavens anymore because you've torn two people apart who wanted to love each other. Why? Because of your own nonsense, because of your own feuds. They weren't feuding. You're at war, and they were trying to find love and peace, and they wanted to bring beauty into the world. And your feuds tore them apart and ultimately destroyed their lives and even killed them, right? This is the same thing. Shakespeare said it all the way back then. You have to do away with it, right? Love is hard enough to find as it is. When it finds it, like love finds each other, get out of its way,
Let it bloom.
right? Let it bloom. Let it bloom, right? Don't be, it's just stupid, right? It's stupidity.
This story.
That's
should
why
not
words
even
like
be a
stupid
story,
exist.
But it is.
Yeah,
and it's a big story, and it's ridiculous because what the fuck is the story? Two people fancy each other. They're both of a decent age. They're both grown up.
She's well fit
And
too.
she's well fit. And he thought, fuck yeah. And he said, I've read somewhere else, him, and he just said he feels really sorry for her. He's like, I don't think he wants it. He doesn't want any of this shit to be happening. Because he fucking probably had a great time.
Probably in love with her. He's
Mate,
probably like,
he
he probably wants to protect her, but he's not in a position where he can. And who the hell like made a story out of it? The other teacher?
I don't know, but somehow...
Do you know why? She's probably like, none of the boys are showing me any interest. Oh my God. Oh, was he didn't like me. It's a bloody Greek tragedy, this is.
As at school, George, we all had that teacher.
Oh God, I had a few of them, yeah.
Oh my God.
I was at an
all
all-boys
had that
school,
teacher,
so pretty much every female teacher was...
Listen, if that teacher... If I'd have
They were all
turned
that
18
teacher.
and that teacher would have been like...
Oh God, oh God.
Ay, caramba. I can only encourage you, I can only implore you to read this wonderful book titled Safe as Houses in the Ballpark World by the one, the only, George Massey. It's just a veritable feast of goodness, all right? Get your nose and get it in this fantastic book. It is genuinely an absolute pleasure to have read it. I've loved every moment of it. It's full of amazing stories. I've literally got lost in the stories. They just transport you to another world. And that's what George is all about. He's about creating worlds, right? And transporting you there to help you to see things in a different way, to give you that enjoyment, perhaps a sense of relief. I don't know what you're going through. But guess what? Your life will be a lot better if you read this book. So get yourself on the Amazon, wherever it is you need to find it. It retails at a very, very reasonable price. And even if that is £1 million, that would still be a reasonable price because it's absolutely priceless. Read it. Read it now. Right now, that's what I'm going to do.